Yeah, well, welcome to the first part of our how-to webinar series. Today, we're going to discuss the first part of it, and that is how to ensure employee onboarding is not only a human resource task. For that, we structured 3 learning goals for you guys to take home with you. The first one is the different roles and tasks in onboarding. The second one is how to structure the processes, so all roles know what is expected of them. And then the third one is how to monitor and keep track of the progress in the onboarding progress. First, we have an expert here, that's Victor. Very nice to have you today.
Thank you, Lukas.
The way this presentation will go is that we will go into the 3 learning goals that I just mentioned, and then in the second half, we will have room for everybody of you guys to ask questions and get the most out of Victor having here. And yeah, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks. Well, my name is Victor. I've been working at Apple for a little over 2 years now. I started out in June 2018. Started as an onboarding consultant, doing implementations with about 50, 60 clients. And since the start of this year, I turned into a customer success manager, which means that I help my clients achieve success while using the app. And I do that both reactively, where my clients come to me and say, hey, how does this button work, or where can I find this? As well as proactively reaching out to them when we have new features or events or other stuff. And I try to stay in contact at least twice a year with every client.
Oh, very nice, thank you. About myself, I joined Apical around 8 months ago as an intern. As an event marketing intern. I then got the opportunity to stick around for a bit longer, filling in the position as junior product marketeer. And among other things, one of my tasks in that new role is to host and organize this recurring webinar to help you guys structure your onboarding process a little bit better and give you the best practices and tips to enhance your process. So let's dive into it. First, let's introduce Apical. Apical is the easy to use and effective onboarding platform to engage and retain your employees. Our mission is to make sure that no hire feels totally lost at their first day in the office ever again. And we empower human resources through our innovative technology that makes it easier for you to create workflows or build employee journeys and in general improve the connections with your new hires. In numbers, Apical was founded in 2012. As Victor mentioned, we are in the headquarters in Amsterdam right now. We also have offices in the UK or in Tel Aviv. Apical has around 50 employees. We supply over 119 customers in over 119 countries with around 150,000 onboardees a year. And we're really grateful to have a great international network of partners in a lot of different countries. To our clients, a few of them are Heineken, HP, or KLM. And let's dive into the topic of the day.
Let's ensure that employee onboarding is not only a task for human resources. So that's a thing that happens a lot in the clients I see as well, that human resources are the sole responsible for onboarding employees. Well, I think it shouldn't be only the responsibility of human resources.
Let's dive into the first learning goal, the different roles and tasks in onboarding.
Yeah, as you probably might know, that onboarding is not only the role of the hiring, not only the role of HR, but there are so many more people in the company involved in making sure that the new hire feels welcome. It starts off with the hiring manager. You can make it bigger, who has a vacancy, of course, but also the team members of the new hire should be aware of the new hire coming in and giving him or her a warm welcome. The colleagues, the rest of the company should be aware of a new hire. A buddy could be appointed to really have the one-on-one connection with the new hire to give them the warm welcome they need and take them by the hand in the first few days. And wider across the company, HT or facilities is needed to make sure that the new hire has the stuff to do his or her work. and sometimes even the board of directors or the board is involved as well in making sure that the new hire feels welcome. So there are many different roles and everybody has their own piece of the pie.
Perfect, thank you. One thing that we found out, a lot of you guys were really interested in coming into this event was the structure of the onboarding process. That's why maybe now it's a good time to kind of capture what you guys' experience with that is. And let's launch a poll and kind of grasp your experience with it. And the question is, how structured is your onboarding process at this point? Yeah, please take a few seconds to answer that question. Nice. We'll give another 10-15 seconds here.
Yep.
Nice.
Were there any open questions as well already?
Not really, no.
Okay.
As we can see that most of you, a good 70%, are saying that at this point it's semi-structured, and that kind of reflects what you have, the experience that you have, right?
Yeah, I see a lot of difference with the different clients that I work with. Some clients really don't have an idea of what to do and how to structure it, while other clients, especially the bigger and the more corporate clients, really have structures in place already and yeah, really thought it through before reaching out to us.
And in that case, how do you help them enhance their structures? Is there anything that you recommend? Any processes that you do?
Yeah, well, when we're doing our implementations, we try to think of what is the best way to to achieve that the information that the new hire needs really comes through. And we use that by using the 4C model as proposed by Bauer in 2010. Which says that a good onboarding has all of these 4 C's. Let's go through them. First, we have a clarification. Now, actually, in the model, the first is compliance. So everything that needs to be done is done. So like all the hygiene factors, like having an email account, having the tools that you need to do for your job. All the paperwork is done, but also that you know which laws are applicable for your job and that you apply to them. Then the next one is clarification. That's all about managing expectations, that it's clear for the new hire what he should do, but also that it's clear for the manager what he can expect of the new hire. So it goes 2 ways. It's not only we want you to do this, but also what can you expect from us. Then it's connection. There are the interpersonal relationships, like really feeling part of the team. And in the end, we have culture, which is a bigger connection, feeling really part of the company and being part of the family.
Oh, nice. Okay. Let's see how these connect to the roles that we mentioned beforehand.
Yeah, you could say that you could give these roles or the 4 topics that you need to touch when onboarding people, onboarding a new hire. You can assign these topics to your involved employees. So, for instance, clarification is clearly a role that the hiring manager should take. Also, the buddy can have a say in that. Connection is a thing that, the buddy really needs to take care of, but also the team members. Compliance, that's more a part that human resources will take care of, as well as the facilities and the IT managers. And the culture is, a wider thing that should be spread by the board of directors and should be lived by the colleagues. As you see, it's not only a role of HR, but also the hiring manager is very involved. And I would say that the HR team should take care of the bigger picture, like informing the colleagues, informing the facilities and the IT and the director. And the hiring managers should be responsible for informing the team managers and the buddy.
Okay, so does this structure work for any size company, or is there a difference between larger or smaller companies?
I see big differences. Smaller companies usually do everything in one person, so the hiring manager or HR is responsible for everything. Where with the bigger companies, you can have several people responsible for their parts. So for smaller companies, sometimes facilities and HR is the same person.
Oh, nice. Okay. I hope that can help you guys out a lot. Another question that we got before, like running up to this webinar, is who's actually responsible to assign these roles? Do you see a difference there, or what's the one?
Yeah, as I just mentioned, I think HR is like the head responsible for the onboarding of the new hire, but they can give responsibilities to other people. So usually, I think it should be teamwork between HR and the hiring manager. And it's good to divide responsibilities. So the hiring manager says, oh, I will take care of the connection and the clarification. I will make sure that there's a buddy, that the team knows that there will be a new hire. And the other way around, human resources will say, we will take care of making sure that the contract is signed and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, nice. Okay. Another question that we got as well is, how do you motivate each role to do its job? Is there?
Yeah, for the hiring manager, it's because you have a lot of different hiring managers with different roles and different ways that they fulfill their job. What I see as a good thing is to show them the ROI of what they're doing. So yeah, a hiring manager needs to invest time to really make the connection and help the new hire through their first days. But they also make a lot of profit out of it. So the time they put in now, they win it back over the time later. Because if they don't invest in the first days, yeah, the new hire will feel lost and maybe even go away.
That completely makes sense to me. Yeah. Seeing that we had a lot of questions leading up to this, I hope that Victor could answer these questions right now and help you guys out a little bit in processing that. Let's move to the last topic and how to monitor and keep track of the process or the progress in general. And there, you mentioned it already, HR is somewhat at the steering wheel to kind of facilitate that process. Yeah. But there is ways for the HR manager or HR to help the managers directly, correct?
Yeah, it's good that HR should set up a process, like have really clear, these are our responsibilities and these are the responsibilities of the hiring manager, but they can also help the hiring manager by setting up a checklist or giving them tips and tricks, train them on how to really get involved with the new hire, and give them also the responsibility to do so. I am aware that yeah, there are so many different kind of hiring managers or team managers. So you should also have the freedom to differentiate between different hiring managers. For instance, I go to some healthcare clients. People working at the office really need different kind of guidance than people working on the floor at the beds.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So how can we allow the managers, or how can HR allow those managers to monitor the process a lot better?
Yeah, within our tool, we've devised something that's called the Manager Toolkit, and this way the manager can actually check the progress of the new hires that they're having. So how far are they in the process? If you don't have a tool like ours, you could have regular check-ins just to check, are you okay, and is everything still clear with the new hire? So that's a way to review it. There's also, in our Manager Toolkit, we help our managers really prepare on how to make a new hire feel welcome. Of course, managers also want to put in their own personality, of course, and they should have the freedom to do it in their own way. But you can really help them by defining topics that they should touch in the onboarding of their new hire.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of clients that have their checklist already in place. Just like people said that they were somewhat structured. Yeah, a lot of clients already have a checklist for their managers. We connected it to the app, so they have the checklist automatically built for each new hire that they're guiding.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and what's good is to keep the other people informed when they need to do stuff. For instance, IT needs to set up a laptop or make accounts. You can notify them when it's 7 days before a new hire starts. So it's easy that you don't forget anything. Because how often has it happened that somebody starts on the first day but still needs to wait for their laptop for 3 weeks? It happened to me.
So in summary, I mean, we've today discussed the topic of why employee onboarding is not only a task for human resources.
Yep.
So the first thing that we discussed is that a shared responsibility among the different roles in general leads to a better experience.
Yep.
Victor mentioned the structuring the process by building on the 4 C's of onboarding, where we mentioned how each C relates to a specific role and how that role can make sure that this C or this building block is encompassed. And lastly, we just mentioned how to enable your hiring managers to keep track of the progress and to make sure that they're notified and they're on track of what's happening, and they can help the new hires whenever they have questions or are stuck at any point in the progress.
Great.
That sums up our presentation. I already see that a lot of questions are coming in, so thank you guys so much. Unfortunately, we couldn't handle them during the presentation, but we now have time for that, for the Q&A round.
Yeah.
There's a question coming in from JP Bach, and that is, how would you define the role of the department manager in comparison to the hiring manager / HR?
Well, that's a good question, JP. Thanks a lot. I think the most important role is for the hiring manager, because he will be the direct manager of the new hire. But it's good that the department manager is involved, but I think more on the background. Maybe check in with the hiring manager every now and then to see everything goes well. Make sure that the new hire has a one-on-one with the department manager somewhere in his first few weeks, just to talk about the vision and strategy and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think that would be a good way.
Also, another question from Sana has reached us. She asks if it's possible that the hiring manager is the recruiter.
Yeah, of course, that is possible if you recruit someone for your recruiting team. So then you have like a double role, and you probably need to do everything. Yeah.
Also a question by Helen Taylor. Any tips on how to get the hiring manager engaged in this? A lot of the times they see this as an HR task and an HR task to manage the entire process.
Yeah, I think it's a shared responsibility. A tip to really involve them is to show them what it's worth for them. So if I see that a lot of people leaving a company is because of they don't fit with the culture and have not a good idea of what they're going to do. Yeah, I think the hiring manager should invest time in his new hires, even if it's a lot of people at the same time. Then maybe combine it. But yeah, really think about the return on investment. Invest the time beforehand when somebody starts, and it will pay you back in the long term.
Okay.
It really will.
I hope that answers your question, Helen. Also, another question in the direction of the buddy has reached us, and that is if the buddy has to be a team member or if the buddy can also be outside of the team.
Yeah, great question. I see different kinds of buddies. It really depends on what kind of company you are. Sometimes it's good to have a buddy inside of the team, really, so you can really take up somebody into the team. But sometimes it's better to have a buddy outside of the team. I see it with, for instance, lawyer companies or companies like that, where it's more kind of a mentor, where you can go to if there's things going on within your company. or within your team. I think both could really work well. It depends on the culture of your company, what works best.
Okay. Also, Fabio asked another question about the buddy itself, and asked, what do you think is a good way to choose a buddy for the new talent, and how much choice does the new talent have on that?
Good question. I think it's good that there's a connection. So you could try to match personality if you know the personality of the new hire, of course. Also, it's good to have a buddy that has experience within the company for a while. So either a more senior member or somebody that's been around for a long time. I think those are the best buddies because they know also all the informal things that you can read in an app or in a guidebook.
Okay. Actually, Fabio, we will release a checklist to determine that buddy very soon, so stay tuned. And the next question comes from Mark. What are the benefits of using an onboarding app compared to an onboarding checklist for hiring managers or HR?
Yeah, well, that turns it more into a sales pitch, but I think the benefits of having an app is it's always up to date. It's environmental friendly, of course, because you won't have to print out a lot of paper. Other benefits is that you can really differentiate for different groups. Yeah, those are, I think, the main. What do you think are the?
No, I agree. I think the ones you mentioned are pretty good.
Okay.
Is there any more questions from you guys? Because I think for now we've answered most of the ones that we reached us.
Great. So what are you all gonna do today? Are you going to take into account the things I've said? What's the first thing that you're going to change in your work? Please think about that for a few minutes and write it down for yourself so you can really start making difference as of today.
And Robert, yes, the recordings will be shared after this, and also every attendee, I mentioned the checklist, will have the chance to see some new content coming up that will help you structure your onboarding process a lot better.
All right. Then I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
When will be the next webinar and what will be the topic?
The webinar will be in 2 weeks from now, and following this email, you will receive the information about it. We will talk about small and medium-sized enterprises.
Oh, great.
And how we can structure the onboarding process for them.
Interesting. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.